Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is VIN1760. This is a 2016 223, which is caviar, so it's black with blue flake with LA30 red interior. And I'm not 100% sure about this car because it popped up on all of my things that I watch in cars.com, visor.vin, that it's recently for sale. This is for sale at a dealer in Princeton, Texas, Dallas-Fort Worth area. It shows $89,000 or 89,000 miles for $35,000. However, I am familiar with this car. This is a car that a group member in one of our GSF groups has sold at the end of, I think it was the end of 2024, as a rebuilt title car, but it had 100 and something thousand miles on it at the time, and now it's showing 89,000 miles. I think it's the previous for sale ad, and for some reason it's just popping up. But so we have a data point. I'll go ahead and go through everything, but just keep in mind that this car may not actually be for sale right now. Production statistics: 448 out of the 2,347 cars were caviar, pretty common, second most common color. 202 of those had LA30 red interior. That's 8.6% out of all of the US 49 production was this color combination. So it's like a 3 or 4 out of 10 for the rarity. You're gonna see quite a few of them. For 2016, 284 out of the 1,417 cars were caviar and 127 had LA30 red interior. So this car at its rarest is one of 127. Carfax, Epic VIN, and AutoCheck. So this is where I think this car may not be for sale. And so Carfax shows this as a 6-owner, 1 accident, and it shows as a total loss in June of 2023. The Carfax shows minor damage. And if you looked at it, you'd probably say it's minor damage. Probably the headlights and the grille were cracked. The headlights and the radiator, along with the grille and the transmission and oil coolers, that's in excess of $20,000 worth of parts. The headlights are almost $4,000 a piece. The grille is $13,000. Very, very expensive parts. And that's why just a minor parking lot bump can basically total the front of these cars. And that's unfortunate because of the cost of some of the parts. It looks like it was issued a rebuilt title, as to surprise of nobody. Pretty easy fix as far as that goes. Epic VIN shows this as a 5-owner, 4-accident car. And I think they just, every time it got moved around auction or from the insurance to the auction, it reported it as an accident. So I don't put a lot of weight behind what Epic VIN says for accidents. AutoCheck shows this as a 6-owner, 1-accident car, same as Carfax. So everything aligns there. So this is a 6-owner, 1-accident rebuilt title car. Previous sales: July of 2016, $88,000 in Virginia, and it sold in March of 2017, 8 months for sale. Very typical of what you saw when these cars were new. July of 2020, $50,000 and 47,000 miles, still in Virginia, L certified, certified pre-owned. July of 2022, $48,000 with 72,000 miles in Georgia. And then it pops up for sale in August of 2023 at IAAI, Insurance Auto Auction. $23,375 plus fees is what it sold for. So probably in the area of like mid $25,000, $26,000 is what somebody was in this just to take it home. November of 2024, the previous owner of this car, which I've talked to him before, it was for sale in the Facebook groups, 103,000 miles for $32,000 in California. And it showed as having new brakes, tire pressure sensors, the differential was serviced, transmission was serviced, new tires, spark plugs, Beat Sonic, all, like it was basically ready to go as a rebuilt title car for $32,000. That's kind of the number I've talked about on a lot of these cars for a long time. $28,000 to $32,000 is kind of the range. This one was higher mileage, but it was otherwise ready to go at that time. And now here at the end of January 2026, it's back in Texas for $35,000, but it shows 89,000 miles. So something's not jiving unless the cars.com is messing up, but it's showing it as a currently listed car. However, according to the Carfax, this car has almost 130,000 miles, but it does show that it's back in Texas. So that's why it's not in California anymore. It's back in Texas. It's being serviced in Texas. It's registered here. I don't know what's going on. And so if it's really for sale or not, if it is for sale, they're listing the mileage wrong, and they're also listing it for $3,000 more than it was for sale a couple years ago. So now into the photos. So this car is a great example of how easy these cars can get totaled, but they're also very easy to fix if you can get some used parts. Used headlights off of a GS350 all-wheel drive has the same headlights, but the grille is unique to the GSF. But the front carbon fiber piece, you can replace that, which is identical with the RCF piece, which is just a painted piece of plastic for like $120. So if you can find a used grille, then you can save some pretty serious money on this car. And so they're in at $25,000, $26,000. If you get some used parts, even if you put this car for sale at $32,000, there's still a little bit of room for profit there. But it looks like in the photos when it was for sale by the previous owner at 103,000 miles, that it looks pretty clean. It was well taken care of, most of the issues were addressed, and it was well serviced. So I would assume if that's the case, it's probably still in pretty good shape. I don't know, based on the photos, if those are old photos or current photos. Again, there's a lot of unknowns with this one, but I'm putting this out there so there's a data point. Service history. So this car was pretty well dealer serviced until about 65,000 miles or 4 years ago, but pretty much a third party since then, and it's on the Carfax. So I would still call this pretty well dealer serviced. The first entry of note is January of 2018, repair the right rear panel. Right rear quarter panel, right rear door panel, doesn't really give much information there. March of 2018, the JLB recall was done. That is the high pressure fuel pumps. Most of these cars have that done. November of 2018, replaced the driver's side seat back because of wear. That was a $1,600 piece, and they Goodwill replaced it because it was excessively wearing. And that's just the bolster wearing from not getting in and out of these cars correctly, just sliding in and damaging the leather. October of 2019, the KLG recall was done. That's the GPS location where the GPS may show you off on the side road even though you're on the main highway, or some sluggish performance, things like that. That resolves all of that. July of 2020, both front carbon fiber trim pieces were replaced and certified pre-owned prep. They re-dyed the driver's seat and some other paint touch-ups. So pretty typical of what you would see for certified pre-owned prep, but also great to see that the front two carbon fiber pieces have already been replaced. January of 2021, the low pressure fuel pump was reprogrammed. So that's the humming or buzzing from the back seat. Good to see that's done. July of 2021 at 61,000 miles, the 60,000 mile service. So again, that's spark plugs, all the other in-depth service, that's done. And then there's about a 25,000 mile gap. And then October of 2024, 91,000 miles, the differential was serviced, and they wanted a quote to replace the carbon fiber trim pieces on the front doors and the center console. You always hear me talk about the 5 common pieces that delaminate. This car has had the 2 front ones already replaced, and they were getting a quote for the other 3. Doesn't look like it was done, but something of note. December of 2024 is the last service, 105,000 miles. Looks like it's just an oil change. And then on Carfax, it's pretty much oil changes every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. It pretty much stayed up with maintenance, so I don't see any issues with maintenance. What was not done, or what have I not seen done? Front lower control arm bushings, that's the usual things. Check the insides of the front tires for any excessive tire wear. It may need front lower control arm bushings. The other 3 carbon fiber trim pieces that have not yet been replaced probably need to get replaced or repaired. The valley plate, don't see where that's been done, so inspect that if you're going to look at this car. HVAC servo sweep has not been done on this car, so make sure everything is fully up to temperature. Set one side to max hot, one side to max cold, cycle through everything, the defrost, the head, the feet, the vents in the rear, all of that, and then switch sides. Make sure everything responds. There is a updated, they call it an HVAC servo sweep. It's a 20LE01 is what that actual customer service program is called. And it will relearn the max and minimum limits for all of the HVAC servos. If it still does it after that, then you may have servos that need to be replaced. And some of those require the dash to be removed, and that can be very expensive. And then finally, the ZLZ. I'm not 100% sure if Lexus will still cover salvage or rebuilt title cars like this with the ZLZ, but the ZLZ covers the sticky dash, the deforming, the cracked dash, anything like that. 10 years from the in-service date, unlimited mileage. However, there may be a exclusion if it has salvage or rebuilt title. But the in-service date on this is March 2nd of 2017. So you have until March 2nd of 2027 to get it replaced if it's covered. If you find out that it's not covered, the part for this is less than $90, but it's like 6 or 8 hours of labor to get it replaced. It's an all-day affair at the dealer for them to do this. But just the usual things, that's what I would look at. Pre-purchase inspection, look at the valley plate, look at the front control arm bushings, and you're probably golden. The car is very well serviced otherwise. So would I buy this car? Not at $35,000. I would be probably closer to 30. And it's, you know, when this car was for sale with 103,000, it was 32,000. I would probably, you know, the 28 to 30, that's probably where I would be. If I can get it less than 30, great, but it does look like it's otherwise got great bones. It was not a severe damage hit, so pretty easy repair, so you don't have to worry about other structural damage or anything like that. And it looks well serviced, and it looks like it's a California and Texas car, and, you know, Virginia early on, maybe Georgia. So pretty much it's been in the South most of its life, or in coastal climate like California. So definitely has the makings of being a good one to just get in, drive, value be damned, go rack up the miles. It looks like it already has 130,000, so it's getting up there, but you know, I don't see any issues reliability wise. So anyways, that's what I've got for you guys. VIN 1760. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.